All right, Julie, our listeners have spoken. I think we've cracked the code on how you know you are having fun in midlife.
Tell me.
Okay, basically, it's science. So, according to our most recent poll, where we asked people to respond, if and how they're having fun in this middle aged period of their lives, it's when you have achieved the body trifecta. And that is that glorious combination of when you're laughing, you're crying, and you're peeing a little bit all at once.
Oh, yes. So if the pelvic floor doesn't fail, the joke's no good, huh?
You got it.
Well, today we're going to dive into this word fun. But before that, Jenny, let's get into our midlife moments this week. I'll go first, okay? Okay. This week, I got hurt at a restorative yoga class. And for those of you not familiar with yoga, restorative yoga is basically 2 steps away from a nap. It's on the floor. There's no standing poses. There's no sweating. And I've
I love it.
self-diagnosed myself as pulling my anterior talofibular ligament in both of my feet.
God, how did you
Yeah.
do this?
I did it during a pose called Thunderbolt, which basically is sitting back on your heels.
Oh my God, Julie. Yeah, that's midlife. You're not even safe at nap yoga. I'm
It's
sorry.
so bad. It's so bad. That is all. What about you, Jenny?
Okay, mine. I did not get hurt, but we had a little bit of downtime one day over the weekend, and I decided to organize I would call them our tech junk drawers. Do you have tech junk drawers? Just the drawers with all
Ugh.
the crap, the cords, the stuff.
We have many.
Many, not
Drives me
just one.
bananas.
Yes. I know, me too. And I take a lot of pleasure in organizing. So I dug in there and I surfaced probably like over 50 chords. And a lot of them were those old school chords. You know, those like, I call them like the short fatties, like the ones that don't work on anything anymore that you
Yeah.
plug in. Got rid of all those. But the best part is I found something. And for those of you who are listening, you're missing out. You can actually watch this podcast on YouTube, but I'm going to show you what I found. And it is, for those just listening, an old school iPod, and it's gold, and it probably held like 30 songs on it, but it really brought me back and gave me so much pleasure. So I can't turn it on. I threw out the cord, but I'm going to keep this thing forever because it really reminds me of those old days.
I love it. It looks like an old school shuffle. Is it a shuffle?
Think so? I think so. I don't even remember. It says iPod on the back.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
2004. Oh, God.
I love it. I had one and then I upgraded to the Nano, which was tiny and not that useful, but
Oh, my God. I remember the Nano. Oh, good
yeah,
times.
yeah. All right. While we're talking about shuffling, let's
Nice
talk about
segue.
fun. Let's talk about fun. I want to acknowledge that fun to one person is not necessarily fun to another. So the way I think of fun is different maybe than you, Jenny. I have to say for me, nothing gets me jollier than a solid belly laugh where my cheeks hurt, my eyes are watering, I can't breathe, I have to cross my legs, all the things. I freaking love it. And the good news is there's science behind it. So according to some publication, I forget, but we'll put it in the show notes. Belly laughing offers significant health benefits, acting as a natural stress reliever, lowering cortisol, boosting endorphins, improving mood, and strengthening the immune system, and also providing a physical workout, engaging core muscles.
Okay, so yeah, forget the gym. Let's just find some funny people to hang out with.
Forget the gym because you can get hurt doing that, and just laugh.
Love it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm in.
What about you, Jenny?
Agree. I agree. It's like when I almost like lose control and don't even know what's going on because I am so in the moment, really like feeling alive. I would say that is like the peak of fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the same time, fun could be reading an awesome book or strolling around, Market Basket alone. Like whatever's fun for you counts as long as you're having it or trying to have it.
Yeah, so it sounds like what you're saying is there's kind of like the low-key fun, which is the market basket and the reading, but then there's like fun with a capital F, like the things that are
Mm.
really like you're actively engaged in something.
Yeah.
And yes to belly laughs. Oh, the best feeling ever.
So good. It's so good. All right. So let's get into the data. So, first, we asked about frequency. How often are you having fun? Whatever fun means for you at this stage of life. Okay. What's getting in the way? What are the blockers getting in the way of you having fun? And then what are people doing for fun? What are they saying? And that'll help us look at kind of the spectrum of fun and how our listeners think of fun and maybe give us some ideas for ways to go out and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. As we were looking through the data, I was thinking, wow, okay. Some of these things I do and haven't always like considered them checking my box for fun. And it actually made me feel a lot better. So I'm excited to get into it.
Totally. So the largest group of respondents from this poll said they are, and that's about 35-ish%, proactively meeting their fun quota. But the important thing here is fun's not just happening, they're scheduling leisure. So with intention, this feels like a group that knows what they like to do to have fun, and they make an effort to get after it.
Yeah. And I think that's a really great point in that fun. And I think fun at this stage of life sometimes requires, or maybe oftentimes requires, premeditation, planning, setting things up, scheduling. So there's a little bit of work that is required in order to achieve this capital F fun.
For sure. Okay. 30% of our respondents were able to find small pockets of fun. The key here is only when they forgot their responsibilities. Okay. I think this one's an important one because it happens when people are losing track of their obligations. The danger there, though, is that there can sometimes be an association of fun with guilt.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, there have been so many times where I am going to do something that is fun and that almost always means like not with my family. And it almost takes me like a solid 15, 20, or maybe the entire time for me to like enjoy myself because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, I left my whole family, or, this requires that my husband has to like pick up the pieces of things that maybe I would normally do, or, my
Yeah.
kids were upset that I left and now I'm carrying that with me. And it really can impact my ability to have fun.
For sure. For sure. And I think for many, it's probably not worth it sometimes, right? Like
Totally.
all of
Totally.
that outweighs fun. And, like there is science behind particularly women, moms, parents in midlife, right? Where our cortisol is on overdrive. Our nervous system just the whole just lives in a state of fight or flight. And I think when we're sort of constantly in that state, um it's just hard to relax and have that pleasure neurotransmitter even
Hmm.
ready to fire.
Yeah. Julie, it's helpful to hear that because I think, we blame ourselves oftentimes for not finding more fun. And what you're saying is like some of it is actually biological at this stage of life, too. Like we have so much going on, we are caring for so many other people. And so even if we can schedule it and find the time, like there's some things that maybe feel a little bit out of our control right now where we can't fully embrace the fun, even if it's there right in front of us.
Totally, totally. And we're going to talk about the comparison trap in a few minutes, but I think that is very real. When I ask myself the question, how much fun am I having? Before I even get to what fun is, I think about other people's fun and what I see other people doing. And like, that's my barometer. Again, it's like we're drawn to this comparison trap. And I think we really need to reframe in our minds what fun is like for me in my heart and in my soul. Um, Okay. So the remaining group, again, about a little bit more than a third, sadly are in a state of fun deprivation. This one is about the bandwidth for fun and how it's restricted for passive consumption. So think
Mm.
scrolling, mindless scrolling rather than active participation. There's enough energy to function, but not
Mm.
enough to really thrive.
That leads to the comparison trap too. So it's like a double whammy. You're spending your time passively having fun. If you're not watching, I'm using some quotes here. And then you're also now feeling bad because you're watching other people do things that may or may not even be fun to you, but you're watching them do them. So say more about this comparison trap.
I think the important thing to mention here is for our listeners, like, you're not alone. There's so much of our community, where joy just feels inaccessible. It's not a personal failure. It's more of a reflection of the increased demands on life right now. And PSA, life is ordinary. For the most part, for all of us, life is ordinary, and that's okay.
God, that should be the title of this episode. Life is ordinary and that's okay. Yes, absolutely. You're right. The other question that we asked people, what are the blockers for having fun? An overwhelming 3/4 of you, so about 75% of you shared that time and the mental load are the blockers for having fun. So think about scheduling, and putting all the pieces together in order to make fun happen. And so I think what that says is it's not for a lack of desire. It's a lack of capacity. When it's another project that you have to manage, I can see where that gets in the way. And so this idea of more micro moments of fun, or as we said before, like low key fun, those are far more achievable. And I think maybe we need to rebrand what fun is in midlife. Like, I think about what fun was when I was in my 20s. And so, for example, partying, staying up super late, spending hours at the mall, trying on clothes and shopping with friends, or even, rotting on the couch all day watching trash TV. Quite frankly, those were fun back then. Those are cringy to me now. And so if I don't kind of redefine what fun is, it's not achievable. So now, things like listening to a podcast or okay, again, might sound a little nerdy, but like I attended a class a couple months ago. I was with a bunch of strangers. It was on creative thinking, and I sat in a classroom with the teacher. I had so much fucking fun. I left that feeling so alive. I was so present. And if you asked me in my 20s if like voluntarily signing up for a class is like my idea of fun, I would have laughed. And so I think we just have to rethink what fun means at this stage of life and also for who we are and not for what everyone else is doing.
Totally. That's a really good point. Yeah, the thing that comes to mind, building a fort in the woods as a kid was so much fun back then. Actually, that's not a good one. I'd actually really like to do that now. But those types of things, right? Kickball. Kickball will always be fun. I am always going to find a way to work kickball into this podcast.
Clearly, we gotta get you out there. All right, call out to our listeners. If anyone wants to join a co-ed kickball team, Julie will be the coach and the captain. Let us know.
Find me.
And then the rest of the folks, so again, that was 75%. So the majority, it's really about capacity, time. 4% shared that there are no blockers. So good for you all. You're having fun. Good for you. And then 17% talked about forgetting what fun was or just losing touch with, what is fun. And so I think that goes back to like redefining fun and really thinking about what lights you up, what makes you happy. And then the last group was another about 4% exhaustion. And so what I think that implies is that it's really not so much about not having the physical energy right now. It's really the mental energy. It's the mental capacity. So I think that says like we can do it. I thought that was actually, optimistic look at, some of the blockers and how we can get past those.
For sure. I love that. And in terms of what our listeners wrote in, because we asked people, what are they doing for fun? Most of our listeners, this kind of didn't surprise me, cited low stakes fun. So things like wandering Costco, enjoying a coffee in front of the fire, going to a yoga class, things like that. Some of these comments resonated with me and some didn't. And that's probably has to do with the fact that fun for me is different
Kickball.
maybe than fun. It's kickball. It's kickball.
Kickball.
It's, pranking my husband. It's, it's silliness. It's real. It's really, actually, maybe it's just immaturity.
That what's funny, Julie, every year for my New Year's resolution is to laugh more. Like I want more silliness in my life. And now I'm thinking I'm just going to start pranking my husband and my kids. I love that idea, but that never dawned on me as something that might be fun for me, but it absolutely would be. So there you go.
Your husband and your kids will think you're insane, and maybe they'll have a good time with it too.
That's part of it. That's part of it. Yeah, I was looking through the responses and I think this just speaks to like our definitions of fun can really vary. So a couple people talked about organizing or cleaning their home when no one's watching. Okay, less the cleaning for me, but the organizing, absolutely. That is like one of the most fun things for me to do, including throwing things out. Listening to podcasts, social crafts, that's a huge checkbox for me. I love crafts, but doing them with other people to me is fun. Doing it by myself, less fun. The things that did not resonate with me that people wrote, so good for you, totally not for me. Going to Costco, which I'm guessing is my husband because he loves to go to Costco, that is my worst nightmare.
Totally. I mean, Costco would be fun if somebody gave me $3,000, closed the store, and said, have at it for 2 hours, go on a shopping spree. Otherwise,
Sure.
I don't want to go near that store.
For sure. That's it. Right. The money and the crowds, like take those
Yeah.
away. Yeah, maybe Costco could be fun.
Yeah.
So much to think about and some things that I think I might start incorporating into my life to have more fun, and they're not going to take too much time, which is important. And we really want to encourage people listening to start having these conversations with other people. Talk to your friends because you're not alone in this, and your friends are a wealth of information. And even just in this conversation, Julie, I'm starting to think about things that I wouldn't have considered that I might want to try on. So I think there's a lot of optimism and hope here, and I'm definitely going to laugh more this year. I'm going to keep this New Year's resolution. Okay, so that brings us to an end of this episode, but we want to let you all know that a new poll is up. It's all about goals. I mean, we're entering the new year. We've got resolutions, or maybe we don't have resolutions. So we want to know, do you set goals, first of all? Or, and these could be big picture or just like little personal development goals or career goals, or are you kind of a live in the moment kind of person? And if you do set goals, we want to know what strategies, what processes are you using in order to achieve those goals? So make sure you head over to our website, midlifeconfidential.com, where you can take the latest poll.
All right, listeners. Well, be sure to follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, all the things, The Real Midlife Confidential. Go to our website. That's where you'll always find the poll. Join our mailing list so that you get everything when it's available. Again, find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch and listen on YouTube. You can find us on Apple and Spotify. We're everywhere.
Yes. And again, go to YouTube so you can see my iPod shuffle if you haven't seen one in the last 20 years.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will see you next time. And until then, keep your secrets safe unless you're telling us.